Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul channel, and I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I thank have inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well. I will have links below this video to their sites. They are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Alon Anavar, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rav Daniel Asore, Nisan Baruch Black, David Sachs, Rabbi Michael Skolback, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Ashir, and Rabbi Yaron Ruvain. As well, if you've never checked out this channel before, I will have a link right below this video to my first video, which explains what M.L.M for the Soul means, what it stands for, and what I'm doing. So if you remember, last week's video was going to be a few-part series. Some strong information from Hashem, of course, from the Torah, called, this is the Emet, the truth. Do you dare to deny it or defy it? So I took this from also from Artscoll, from the Saperstein edition of the Rashi for the Chumash, and this was on Parshas Nitzavim. Now, I'm not sure if I'll continue to Vayelech, but because we read them when we did the parasha together. Again, I don't want to keep this too long, so I'm going to pay attention to the time. So where we left off last time, if you remember, what I was mentioning was how when the person decides that he will have peace in his heart for what he decides to do, meaning, you know, he won't get, it won't matter that he decides to kind of make his own way or find his own way in life and not follow the Torah. So we're in Devarim, Parshas Nitzavim. This is Perek Chaf Tet 29. This is Pasuk Yutet, which is 19. So again, I'm just going to continue in English so it doesn't take as long. So Hashem will not be willing to forgive him, for then Hashem's anger and his wrath will smoke against that man, and the entire imprecation written in this book will come down upon him, and Hashem will erase his name from under the heavens. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's a really strong pasuk. Now, I'm not sure if I read this. I don't think I read this last time, but I may have. But if I did, then I'm going over it again. I think I may have. I just don't remember. I didn't check back. So, but again, very strong. I think I did mention this is about rage. How it's not actually him. But this is good to go a little bit back so we can go forward. Actually, so again, it's just used in terms that we can understand. And in the next pasuk, Chaf 20, Hashem will set him aside for evil from among all the tribes of Israel, like all the implication of the covenant is written in this book of the Torah. I did remember that I did do that. So we'll continue on Chaf Aleph 21. So this is new stuff now. So the later generation will say. This is really interesting. I like these next few psukim, you'll see why. Your children will arise after you, and the foreigner will come from a distant land. When they will see the plagues of that land and its illnesses with which Hashem has afflicted it. So here, other people are noticing. So let's see if there's any commentary on this. I don't think there was. Let me just check if Rashi has any commentary. No, not right now. But just what they're saying is very interesting, or what is being said by Moshe. Sulfur and salt, a conflagration of its entire land. It cannot be sown and it cannot sprout, and no grass will rise up on it. Like the upheaval of Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah and Zeboim, which Hashem overturned in his anger and his wrath. Again, remember when it says that his anger is apo and chamato. So very strong words that this is what happened, is that the land is just totally desolate. This is what Hashem said will happen when you go against him. Nothing will be able to grow, and it'll be like Sodom and Gomorrah. So that's very strong words of Mussar. And next pasuk, Chaf Gimel 23, and all the nations will say. This is where I was talking about it, because now hear what they're going to say because of this. For what reason did Hashem do so to this land? Why this wrathfulness of great anger? Now, when another nation notices that Hashem, the creator of the world, whether they believe or don't believe, when they see the desolation and the destruction, and they actually ask, why is Hashem so angry? That doesn't sit well for us, because that's our lesson, that we're not doing what we're supposed to. If they notice that there's a wrath, there's some kind of upheaval that's going on, then that's not good. So now what's the answer? And they will say, meaning whoever's being, answering them, it doesn't say exactly, and there's no commentary. So what will they say? Because they forsook the covenant of Hashem, Brit is a covenant. The God of their forefathers, that he sealed with them when he took them out of the land of Egypt. Again, if that's not one of the most, I guess, embarrassing statements for Bnei Israel to be told about them, that you went against Hashem, you went against the covenant he made with you, and with his forefathers, with Avotam, his Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, that he sealed with them when he took them out of Mitzrayim as well, when he gave them the Torah. So that's very shameful. And Hashem and Moshe is relaying that this is being said. This is what you did. You caused it. It wasn't Hashem doing it to you. You caused it because you went against him. And Hashem Yirachem, Hashem should have pity on us and mercy on us, that it's still going on, and it seems to me it's even worse now than it's ever been. And people have to come back and do what's right. This is the truth. You have to follow it. There's no, deciding this is good and this is not. Whatever Hashem says is good, and that's the end of the story. Next pasuk is Chavhei 25. And they went, so it continues on, whoever's saying this. And they went and they served the gods of others. And they prostrated themselves to them, gods that they knew not, and he, meaning Hashem, did not apportion to them. Again, very strong mussar, very strong rebuke. So now there are some commentaries for this. So saying when they knew that they knew not, so that after worshiping them, the people did not become aware of there being in them any divine power, meaning they worshipped all these idols, man-made things, but there was no divine power in them, meaning that they were foreign, they didn't mean anything and they didn't have anything to benefit them. And Hashem did not apportion to them, means he did not give it to them as their portion, meaning that's not, they had no right to do that. And Onkelos says this means that they did not give any benefit to Israel with any goodness. And let's see what else. And that particular God whom they choose for themselves did not apportion them any portion or share. Meaning, what are you wasting your time? It's a man-made thing. You're not getting anything out of it. By you worshiping it, there's not going to be any benefit for you in the future, so why are you doing it? The whole idea is to, basically follow in the ways of Hashem. We don't follow it because we're going to get a benefit. We know that's the result. That we're here to do the will of Hashem, and then we're here, and then in the next world when we get the goodness, that's what we're working towards. Okay, next pasuk, Chavav 26. So Hashem's anger flared against the land. I guess this person still continuing to talk about it. And we're going to do a couple more pasukim and end the chapter, the perek. So Hashem's anger flared against the land to bring upon it the entire curse that is written in this book. Again, very strong. His anger flared by Yichar Af, very strong words. And he brought the curse, the klala, that's written in this book. So there is no commentary on this, but just, you don't really need, it's there in black and white. So we can being angry at the land and then cursed it. Next pasuk, Chav Zayin, and Hashem removed them from upon their soil with anger, with wrath, and with great fury. And he cast them to another land as this very day. Again, anger, bechema, everything. And he biketzef gadol, with great fury. So all of this is very, very strong words. So some commentary here, and it says when Hashem removed them, this is to be understood, and he expelled them from the land. So they didn't belong there, meaning they're not doing Hashem's will. Hashem doesn't want us to quote unquote soil or dirty his land. That's what we're doing to our neshama. The same thing is we're soiling it, we're harming it, so it has to be cleansed. So one way to cleanse it is to remove what is there that's causing the problem. Like if you have a stain on your clothes, you have to sometimes work really hard at it with a lot of cleanser, without whatever kind of, stuff that you use, for stain remover. So that's what Hashem is moving. He didn't want that on his land. Okay, next pasuk, and we're almost done. Let's see, pasuk Chavchet. I think we'll stop here, and then I'll continue next time. Be'ezrat Hashem. The hidden things are for Hashem, our God, but the revealed things are for us and for our children forever, to carry out all the words of this Torah. So it stops with the fury. So I guess whoever was speaking at the time, that was the end of the explanation as to why Hashem's anger was so strong, and and on the land too. So when it talks about the hidden things, it's as if you were to say, what are we able to do? You punish the many for the sinful thoughts of the individual. And as it says, perhaps there is among you a man that I read earlier that will go against and say, I'm going to do what I want. And afterwards, when they will see the plagues of that land, which implies that the entire land will suffer, why should the many suffer for the thoughts of the individuals, right? Good question. Is it not true that a person does not know the hidden thoughts of his fellow man? So they respond by saying, I do not punish you for the hidden things, for they are for Hashem, and he will take what is due from that individual. But the revealed things are for us and our children to destroy the evil from our midst. And if we do not carry out judgment against him who commits the revealed sin, he will punish the many. So that's how Hashem responds. If we don't take it upon ourselves to take care of it, then he will have to do it upon the many. And then actually they talk about that in this pasuk there are dots amongst on some of the Hebrew words, lanu ulevaneinu, meaning for us and for our children forever. So it's just explaining that what this means is that to expound that even for the revealed sins he did not punish the many until they crossed the Jordan, the Yarden. Only they accepted, once they accepted upon themselves the oath at Har Gerizim and Har Evel, they became guarantors for each other. So that's the whole idea, is that once you took on that responsibility, then you're liable for each other. So that's very important to know, that Hashem is not trying, that's not only not trying, he doesn't want to bring us, say the klala, the measure for measure response that he has to give based on, the type of, that he's tzedek, emet but tzedek, truth and justice. He's just, so he can't side with one person or the other or be bribed or anything like that. So that's why, you have to realize that there is consequences to everything, and you can't just think you can go about your life and do anything you please and it won't matter. And people are becoming, again, Hashem should have mercy on everyone, so lackadaisical, and they really have to really wake up to the truth. I know it's hard. I know everyone has challenges. I know we all have Yetzer Hara, evil inclination. We all have things that are harder for us than others, but the way to learn to overcome that is to work on it. That's how I've done it, and that's how many people do. You have to work on it. It's work. It's hard work. And you have to be strong, and you have to also sometimes maybe even learn some of the harsh aspects of the consequences in the next world that may wake you up as well. Some people are very good with hearing that, and it'll help them, to know that they don't want to go down that road because it's not pleasant. So, but I do hope that we will all, be'ezrat Hashem, he should help all of us to do what's right in his eyes, and to follow his ratzon, and that we will all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days, and the rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beis HaMikdash. Amen. And thank you for watching.